For some breaking news coming in right now, two senior police officers, both the DCP rank posted with the Mumbai Police, will also be examined and questioned by the CBI SIT. One officer is accused of staying in touch with the prime suspect, and the second did not take the complaint of Sushant's brother-in-law seriously. We also understand the CBI will try to find out why O.P. Singh's WhatsApp complaint was not taken on record after Sushant was found dead. Now, the agency, we are being told at this moment, will also probe why a senior officer who was not the investigation officer, the IO in the case, kept in touch or was in touch with a person of interest in the investigation. We, of course, will not name them at this moment, but we do know exactly who these two individuals are. We've done stories on them. Because the case is with the CBI right now, I feel it would not be right to take their names before the CBI does. Once they do, then perhaps we can talk about it. But we've done stories, remember. We broke that story about a senior police officer who was in touch with a person of interest in the investigation while he was not the investigating officer. And that is highly irregular. It's very rare in such cases where a police officer who's not the investigating officer keeps in touch with a person of interest in the investigation. Bhavtosh Singh joins us now for more on this. Bhavtosh, we both know who these individuals are. We've done stories on them. Since the case is in the CBI right now, I'll refrain from taking any names. But the valid question then also, and as it is now, was a person, a senior officer who was not the IO, had kept in touch with a person of interest, which was highly irregular to begin with. Now the CBI will question both these officers.
Athar, in fact, both these officers were initially will be examined by the CBI's SIT. What the CBI SIT has said is that these two officers, one of them is a present DCP of Bandra, and the second one was a former officer of the same district. Now, the officials in CBI have said that the family has leveled very serious allegations on them. One is accused of not seriously pursuing the WhatsApp complaint that was given by O.P. Singh, brother-in-law of Sushant Singh Rajput. Now, why it was not done is something that only he knows. But CBI has said that when the family members was questioned, they put those WhatsApp on record, and it is now mandatory for the SIT to examine him. The second officer is in fact accused of much more serious offense. He was in fact a supervisory officer of the inquest proceedings in Sushant Singh Rajput case. Anil Trimukhe, if I'm not mistaken, was the one who was in direct touch with Riha Chakravarti. Now, Riha Chakravarti was a prime suspect in this case. She was in direct touch with Trimukhe. Why an investigating officer is speaking to someone who is the person of interest is something only he knows. But more importantly, what we have found from our sources is that Mumbai Police never put it on record in the inquest proceeding that O.P. Singh had complained in February about the fact that his brother-in-law was keeping bad company, a very serious charge being leveled by the family. And CBI SIT has said that both these senior IPS officers will be examined in days to come.
Might as well say the name now is Abhishek Trimukhe, who was in touch with Riya Chakrabarti, and we had furnished those call data records, calls going in and out of that number between Riya and Mr. Trimukhe. Thank you, Bhavtosh, for joining us. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.